No more selling fees? Zero? Really? I sell something for $100 and I get to keep all $100? Is there a site that can do that for us? Well, today I received an email in my inbox from Mercari that said they're making this massive change. Let's go check this out together and see if this is real, if it's too good to be true, and what's the catch. So this is what their website says. It says, no more selling fees, zero, only at Mercari. And no, it's not just a promo. I love the humor here. They're walking, they're dancing, they're so proud. Go ahead and list. Let's look at this now. So why sell on Mercari? It says, we strive to make the best place to sell great, but it is now claiming to be the only U.S. marketplace with zero selling fees, zero selling fees. So meaning you as a seller will not have to pay anything to list something on their site. And I love that they said this here. It's not just a promo, a limited time, blah, blah, blah. It's a new reality. No more selling fees, zero zip gone. Because this is the way selling should be. Yeah, that's a dream. I have questions, Mercari. How are you making money? But I love what you're doing for us as a seller. So they want to revolutionize selling. That's something Mercari's been really talking about since we've used them for about 3 years. And they have been really unique in how we've had Uber come and pick up items from our front door, and then that Uber delivers it. That was a service they did. Nobody else does that. That was an interesting thing you can still do with Mercari. It used to be $7, now it's $15, so probably puts it out of reach. But it is an interesting option. Instead of selling something or mailing it, you get it the same day. Off topic, but here is the big thing. 2 columns. What's happening? How are they making this possible? So for sellers, it says no more fees again, meaning zero, and then also zero each ACH fees, meaning when you transfer your money from Mercari to your bank, it was free. Is it still? No. They actually charge you $2 now. Okay, sure, I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to send money like once a month and just transfer that for $2. Okay, there's a little fee, but reasonable. But they're saying if you want to buy something on the site with that money you've made, no fee at all to do that. That's fine. And this begins when? Sometime in the future? No, today is the day of the filming of this video, March 27th. That's the day that this happened. Let's look at the buyer side. What's happening over there? Well, there's zero payment processing fees when using your balance. Let's look at that catch there. I have a secret source to confirm what this is actually saying. So no fees if you use money that you already have in Mercari. Shop with confidence. This is a major change. In the past, it says you could not return. Now you can return for any reason and get your money back. Questions about that? How long is that return rate? And what are the standards? So for any reasons, I guess it's any reason. You doesn't fit, you don't like it anymore. It used to be after you receive a package as a buyer, you have 3 days to rate and address any concerns with the seller. After that, it automatically gives a positive rating and you can no longer return anything with that item. If you receive an item in those 3 days that's broken or something that is not as it was described, the Mercari can force a return and then the seller refunds the money. Kind of like Poshmark in that policy. But now they're saying they're allowing returns, even free returns. Well, who's paying for that shipping? Me as the buyer, or the seller, or the Mercari? Are you covering the cost of that shipping? I am not sure based on this information here, but I like the ideas. Okay, let's look here. It says selling has never been so easy. It just takes minutes and listings are free. See how it works. Well, that's really nice. I think this is helpful for brand new people to try things like this. Just takes a few pics, add a description, name your price, and it's true. Mercari is a lot easier to list on than eBay. There are no item specifics. You have to fill out multiple business policy standards. You can only do a few things here with this platform. But look at this. Did you know that you can easily import your existing listings from eBay or Poshmark? I do, but I didn't know it did it like this. So I'm going to show you a little bit later in the video how this works. It's amazing for potentially a lot of you. So let's look at this. Selling with confidence. So we sell, list, ship, zero selling fees. This is a dream. Shipping protections automatically included. So Mercari has automatic labels if you use their system, and they have $200 protection That's $100 extra on top of what is automatically covered by USPS or UPS labels for ground advantage things. So let's see what I got that reveals some other information, more details, what's behind all this. So let's look at the terms of service, the email that I received today. If you look, you see here, you've been updated our terms of service. It's again promoting that we're removing selling fees for Mercari and 0 selling fees, and that the only US resale marketplace to do this. And this is something that they're emphasizing throughout this, that it was 10%. So 10% was if something sold for $100, they would take $10 back. Now you get to keep that $10. You sell something for $500, that's $50. You get to keep that. Adds up. 10% being removed is massive. We're really grateful for that. So this is the part I want to look at. Buyers will be able to return items for any reason. The service fee, service fee will be charged. What's the difference between a selling fee and a service fee? I think we're going to find out. And then they talk about the payment processing that will be, look at this with me. Mercari will be charged buyers a payment processing fee at the time of process that includes 50 cents plus 2.9 of the transaction price, which is equal to the credit card fees. So they are covering that credit card fee and charging to the buyer, which I've experienced at like estate sales or things like that, where the payment processing, they add on 3% back. And I'm happy to do that because I know that they're not getting that money, and I'm happy to cover that as a buyer. So it's interesting they're adding it here. Oh, I might have spoken too soon. They're also charging a 2.9.5% charge as a seller as well. So that's interesting. There is going to be a service fee, and there's going to be a payment processing fee. Are we just renaming selling fee? Well, let's look. Let's keep looking here. Let's talk about the direct deposit. So let's look at the very specific fine print. I like fine print. Okay, so effective, this is today. We accepting these documents. Okay, perfect. Let's click on fees. Okay, so there we go. Service fees. You work hard to make our marketplace a vibrant community shopping experience. Learn more. Well, that learn more. Okay, it has a buyer protection. I'll come back to that. Starting today, make your purchase, a service fee will be charged. The amount of that fee will be displayed as part of the final price of the checkout process. This fee is charged to the buyer and may not be refunded depending on the reason for return. So the service fee is also charged to the buyer. Wow, they are really changing things there. So as a seller, I don't have to worry about that service fee according to the fine print here. The seller fee will be 0%. Mercari, how are you making money? Are you a nonprofit for resellers? That's so interesting. Okay, will be a selling fee of 10%. Okay, you'll still have to pay 10% if you do not update it unless the listing has been updated on or after this date. I was able to update every item in one click thanks to something Mercari did, and I bet you will as well. I'm going to show you in just a bit. Let's look at these transactions and payment fees. Okay, so this is talking about the 2.5 in two separate areas. This is the seller. This is the buyer. So they're charging both the buyer and the seller that credit card fee. So maybe they are making money off of the 3% and 50 cents per transaction. That's fine. If our entire fee of money being taken out is only 3%, 2.9, that is a huge advantage. So that's fair because they're already on sites like eBay and even Mercari itself. When you take out 10%, they're also still taking out the 2.9 credit card fee as well often. So there's other little fees they throw in there, right? The final value fee and all these things are different than the actual selling fee. So that is very true and good. You pay $2 every time you withdraw money to your bank, or $3 if you do an instant thing. Fine, good. Shipping is going to be based on their labels. If you want to use their labels, they have numbers that are pre-built into there. Can win some and lose some on the value. I have a problem with some of their pre-printed labels is this jump here. Between £1, if it's 1.5 pound, it jumps to the 3 pound to $18. And that is a huge number. It goes priority, but it doesn't have the option. So Mercari, you're really, really doing amazing things. Please allow ground advantage to come into play here so that it's only a little bit increase for every pound and not jump to priority pricing at £3. I think this is because it is still using the first class and priority options, which have now been merged into ground advantage. That's why that happens. Talks about media mail. This is much more reasonable, but it's only for media mail. Don't use other things for that. So we can go in here. Oh, here's the local delivery, the Uber, $16, and we've used it. We've had people come and buy something, and then we have to set out the item in a special way. We don't have to see the Uber guy. They pick it up and they deliver it, and you get your money back and delivered to you in that same day after they receive it. Pretty awesome. Cancellation fees. Oh, the seller is if you cancel too often, you may charge a cancellation of 5% of the item price, up to $25. I haven't seen that as an issue, but I guess they're trying to protect themselves from cancellation. There is some authenticity things you can do but let's go back to the top and look at this key thing about the service fee here. Your shopping experience, learn more, because I need to know about the returns. What is the return process with Mercari? How long can they do it? Do they have 30 days? What's going on? So the buyer protection says you can, once you've received it, you have 72 hours, 3 days from the delivery date to confirm everything is like your liking and rate the seller. If you're not happy with it, you can return the item in those 3 days. And it says, we have you covered. The returning label is free. So that means, from what I understand, Mercari is paying the cost of that return label. Wow. Okay. Once the rating is later, but if the buyer rate the seller, the sale is finalized and the payment is issued to the seller. So when somebody buys something on Mercari, you do not get the money within a few days, like on eBay or Etsy. It does not release that money until the buyer has officially received it. And within 3 days, if they haven't given you a rating, the money will release. The transaction is permanently closed. Or if the buyer receives it and they rate you, the money is relocked. It's sent to you, and everything's closed as well. Very nice. I don't mind that. I think it's fair that you don't get the money until everything is finalized. And it's nothing harder than you think you got the money a day later. It took a week for the item to get to the customer. Then they finally open it, and then they want to return it, but that money's already been in your own pocket circulating. You have to now give back. So it's kind of fine to just wait a little bit to get the money, and it's yours. It's 100% yours at that point. So it looks like the returning is acting like it has for any other return with Mercari, which was very rare because you had to prove it wasn't like the listing. But now they can do it for whatever reason they like, and they have 3 days to do that. So I think that's fair. After they receive the app package, it shows delivered in the tracking. They have 3 days to deal with it. And sometimes those 3 days go pretty quickly. Maybe they live out of town and so it's delivered after 3 days. They still can't return it because those 3 days start once it's delivered. So it is a really safe platform for sellers. Mercari all of a sudden has become an extremely safe platform for sellers. We are not going to have any fees. We have return possibility, but only 3 days worth. I know that on eBay, we have 30 days of free returns for any reason. Massive difference between 3 days and 30. And the reason we offer 30 is so that we can be top rated on eBay and have the opportunity to have our items seen in more places. There's the idea, and maybe slightly other benefits, but we have to do a lot of work to keep that status. We have to ship every day, 1 day shipping, and we have to make sure that we offer free returns and things like that. So I think Mercari is an amazing website that is pushing the boundaries of what they can do as a website, what they can do as a platform. We have sold thousands of items on the site, and over the last 3 years, we really love it. And we do have a system where we automatically have every item we list on eBay to be automatically uploaded on Mercari. Would you like to know what that is? I'll show you right now. It's this website called Export Your Store. The magic sync, and it really is magic. I cannot tell you how important this website is to our business, and that is related to these items on eBay automatically being pushed to all of these sites, including Mercari, which was just added a few months ago. Before, it was a manual transition into from eBay into Mercari using other sites like Vindu or these are those other cross-lister, those things like that. But this one automatically does it. It automatically picks up the item off eBay, puts it on Mercari. When it sells on Mercari, it removes it from everywhere else. Or if it sells on eBay, it removes it from Mercari. I don't have to think about it. I get to celebrate every sale no matter the platform, and it automatically Export Your Store is taking care of it. I definitely want to do a full video on how this works, but for now, definitely check it out. But for those that do not want to pay the little extra fee, that there is fees here to Export Your Store, Mercari has done something that I thought was amazing. So if I look down here and it says, right down on this page here, selling has never been easier. Did you know? Well, yeah, I didn't know. Let's look at this together. This takes me to the import listing site that automatically lets you import your listings from eBay and Depop and say goodbye to selling fees. So what this does, it lets you put in here the URL of your store, and it will import every item in that store on eBay, or you can do one by one. And so let's check that out. So let me go to this Yadro I have here listed on eBay. All the pictures and everything are there, but let's take this URL and I'm going to come back to my Mercari page and put this in there. Okay, here's the only options I have to think. Do I want standard shipping by Mercari? It'll take into account its weight and everything. Or do I want to ship on my own, which automatically makes it free shipping? That's also a problem. But shipping on your own, you cannot charge the customer anything in that case. So let's use the standing, and you can do free shipping with that, or we're going to charge the buyer. That's fine. Let's charge it. Let's click import listing. What it's doing, it's importing now. You're going to email when it's done. And that takes a few minutes, but you can also imagine it'll take a lot longer if you import your whole store or multiple things. But how easy is this? And let's go check out the results. So I'm going to click on my listings, and this is the drafts area where it says ready to list. When I click on that, you can see I did it earlier today. There it is again, but now it's ready to go. In 1 minute ago, I updated this. So we can click on list, and it's going to process, or I could have clicked on the edit as well, and you can see some of the back end of Mercari here. Every picture that came in is up until the limit of Mercari's limit, because eBay allows 20 plus now. Mercari still is only allowing 12. But here we go with the titles and the categories and everything. You can go through here and improve this, but it is doing what I want it to do. I could look at the weight here, ship on your own, standard shipping, or do I want to, so it's 6 pounds, select the carrier, and see how it does that. It's so expensive. Or I can go back and say I want 1 pound, and then now it's $7. If your weight is off, you will get charged the difference by the store, and that's fine too. But let's go through here and list. So now that I've listed that item, I'm going to go and look at active listings, and you can see it's loading up here. It has reviews, and so I just listed it. But, I just listed some of this stuff. And if you go down here, look at 1 hour ago, I already have 20 views and 2 likes, which is a way to me to send offers. That's really good traction. That's higher traction than I get on eBay for these items, and these are just listed an hour ago. So I really appreciate the power of Mercari, and the reason it's listing this an hour ago because it's automatically picking up some of the stuff from Mercari. And actually, I don't know why it's an hour ago. I think I do though. I will show you something that happened earlier today that might change your Mercari store if you already have one. So earlier today, I found this. It says selling fees will be dropped to 0%. You can automatically lower prices to match. Well, let's see what happens. It says selling fees were just dropped. Great. Have your prices lower 10% to boost in search results. I clicked lower my prices and it says update in a few minutes, but I doubt that. I mean, it's 2,000 pieces, but maybe that's why it's showing 1 hour listed, because it's automatically updated everything, dropped to 10% because it's turning that 10% that I would have to charge extra over to the buyer. So this is an incredible thing. And I'm very curious to see how dramatically this will shift things in the reselling marketplace. How many people will want to move from other platforms to Mercari and give it a try? Will buyers have any struggle with being shown a 2.9% fee, or is that something they would have thought of anyway? Will pricing be more competitive on Mercari because we're not having to cover our costs? I know with eBay and promoted listings, we were getting up to like 25% of our money, even 30 to 35 of our sell price taken by eBay's as a combination of the 12% and the extra promoted listings we are adding to try to get it to connect. We have now turned off promoted listings on eBay and just take the basic, and we are analyzing that impact on our business if there is any. But right now we're talking about Mercari and the big surprise of the day, where as a seller, you have 0% fees. Congratulations, everybody in the United States. We are very grateful, Mercari, for this opportunity and look forward to seeing how this will affect our personal business and yours. Please add any comments or questions you have below. I'd love to answer them. And after all this, always remember, in our channel, we're always going to put people before treasures. Have a great day.